Hello guys, it's Tabs and welcome to Tabs Hope Up channel. I would like to say sorry, we just logged in late because we had some unavoidable circumstances. Please forgive us. Our guest had some issues that she needed to deal with first before coming in live. So karibuni sana, welcome. And let's all welcome Zipporah Elkana in our show. It's our first time we're all having her. She's a phenomenal woman, a brave woman. She's a fighter. She's a victorious. I love her. I love the courage that she has. So far, I will say thank you again for those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, for those who are watching, for those who are liking and leaving a comment. Guys, I will never come this far without you. I will say thanks again for your support. I will say thank you for those who do a sidebar chat and they encourage me. That's why I am here. So I would never take anything for granted. I will continue asking you guys to subscribe, support me, click that notification bell. Every time I come live, you will be able to watch and to see what is going on Tabs Hope Hub channel. Again, Tabs Hope Hub channel. We are here to give you hope. We are here to let you know there is no room to give up. If you hear or if you listen to Elkana Zippy story, you will know when we say there is no room to give up, this is exactly what we mean. She has gone through a lot. She has gone through up and down. But at the end of the day, she is still standing strong. So here we are. Let me welcome Zippy. Zippy, habari yako?
I'm sorry, Sana Tabitha. How you doing?
I'm doing good. First of all, I would say thank you for coming in. It's an honor to have you. I feel honored and I thank you for honoring my invite. Karibu sana. And so I would like you to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Tabitha. Thank you for inviting me to your show. Not everybody can invite you to their shows or to their house. So you inviting me to your house, I appreciate you and I thank God for you. For those who do not know me, a lot of people have known me through other channels that we go visit these days. I am Leverett Zippy Wambui Elkana, Zipporah Wambui Elkana. I go by Zippy. A lot of people know me by Zippy. I met Tabitha through my story, and from that time we connected, and so we've been communicating and we have been talking. And Tabitha is also a very empowered woman, and she has been looking for women with the stories who build each other. We carry others, women, and other people on the shoulders of our stories. So I hope my story is going to carry you on my shoulder, and we can find a place together that we can see that the grace of God is always sufficient for us. For those who are strong and bold, they don't give up, they keep moving, they rise up like eagles, and God will always help them to rise higher and higher. Yeah, Tabitha want me to tell you where I come from. I come from, I live in Pennsylvania, USA, Pennsylvania. Yeah. In a small town called Hershey. It's not a small actually. It's known for producing the best chocolate in the world. Mm-hmm. I live right behind them, and about 15 minutes from the capital city of this state called Pennsylvania. Originally came from Kenya, Joro, a small town called Joro, down there, Mashambani, where I was born and raised in a home of 9 children. One of them, I did not see him. He died before I was born. But the rest of them, we grew up together in a house of a mom and a dad. And so I got the opportunity coming to this land through many oppositions of life, growing up in poverty, as maybe some of you have read my book, or maybe you have heard me from another channel, and fighting through those struggles of life. I know it is not by mighty, it is not by my strength, it is by the strength and the favor and power of God upon my life. I am a Christian, I'm a pastor, so I don't leave the word of God behind, because it is the one that have made me to fly high like an eagle, to know that I'm a child of God, and I could not be where I am today without his love upon me. and also love from the parents that gave me the faith of knowing that I'm a child of God through Christian faith, and that I think really have helped me to grow strong and only to know how to depend on God in the time of trouble, in the time of trials, and in the time of difficult time in life. So I think that is small introduction of myself. I am a mother of two, my son and my daughter. I am married to Stephen Mwangi, and I just moved back here to Pennsylvania a year ago after I lived in Massachusetts for 8 years. And I came back here just to stay close to my family and to my children. You know, family is power. So I came back here, and God is good.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. So, Zippy, we would like to know, how was your childhood life like? Did you go to school and other?
Yeah, you know, I came from a family that my parents were not educated. My father was not educated, though he knew how to read and write. My mom did not know how to read or to write. But I think she was a very intelligent woman. She loved to quote the Bible. And one thing I always remember about my mom is that she'd always say, that is a quote from the Bible. That means the lazy ones, they should not be given food so that they die.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to encourage us to work every day. So I came, I was born from, as I said, from a family of 9 children. So struggles were there. You can imagine 9 children. You are born in a small farm, a little farm. They were called peasant farmers. And so we struggled a lot, especially when it comes to education. Most of my families did not go to high school. I was the first person in my family, and my other sister that is not living passed away last year. We were the first two that were able to get to high school. And then after that, I was able to push it further myself through many struggles and, asking people to help. I did not shy asking people to help. I even today don't shy. If I need something, I will not just asking, but I will ask questions that I know are beneficial to me. And so I was able to push it to college. I went to Igoji Teachers College. And after Igoji Teachers College, I taught a little bit in Narok. And finally, I was able to come to America through a family member that invited me here. So struggles are there. I still remember that chondo, that little kiondo we used to put our food to carry to school, and then you go to school and you hang it on the tree, and then lunchtime you hear that bell. I don't think, Tabe, you are from that time. Yeah, you you carry githeri in a little bowl and that kiondo, and you hang it outside the tree somewhere. And let me tell you, most of the time you shared with the birds of the air, because they'll get there and get some githeri out.
Wow.
And then the bell came for lunchtime, and you'd go under the tree, all of you, and eat your githeri and go back to the classroom. God is so faithful. Coming from such a humble beginning, it makes me have a lot of meaning of life. To know how far you can go when you only trust God and obey and work hard and be bold in life, because those circumstances, they're just there to beat you up and to finish you, so that you may not reach your potential or your goal or your vision and your purpose on this world. So I grew up under a lot of poverty myself, a lot. I have written a book called I Slept on the Sacks, and for sure I slept on sacks. That is part of the poverty.
You slept in
that was in Kenya. That was in Kenya. Twaragirwa makonia frat. We didn't have beds.
On the floor.
On the floor sometime, and that is very all of this makes life so beautiful. That is what makes life beautiful, when you have that combination, or sometimes you get the the wheat grass, and then you put it on the sacks, and that was your mattress. And today I sleep on a nice mattress. I tell you, don't I?
Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, I sleep in on a very nice. I go to my doctor and he tells you need that tympanic mattress, and I'm able to buy and to sleep on it.
Yeah,
God
we
is so
support for
faithful.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you went to primary school, you went to high school, you went to college. Did you get married?
No, I didn't get married. Unfortunately, I think I didn't get married, but I got children. I got someone to give me children, but I didn't get married.
How many kids?
2 children.
2 children. Wow, good.
Yeah.
And now, by that time, you went to college, you became a teacher. Now you have 2 kids, and then you came to America, right?
Yeah, I was raising my children. Well, I was in Kenya, a teacher,
Okay.
all by myself, and then finally I found a family member that invited me to come to America and visit, and hoping that I would later bring my children over here. So
Okay.
I kind of just dropped my teaching career.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for vacation for a month, and I was given the permission to come over. But I came and I found the land is good.
And beautiful and
It's
clean.
beautiful. When you come to a beautiful land, are you gonna go back?
No,
Hey, even
no,
those people who are sent to go and check the land, they some of them went back to with good report. They say that it's good. Others saw giants. For me, I didn't see giants, and even if they are there, because they are there are so many giants in America. I didn't want to think about the giants. I wanted to see the good part of it, and so I said, I am here to stay.
Okay,
I was
so
going to stay.
You made up your mind of not going back to Kenya after you landed here. That's
after I landed here.
Yeah.
Well, after I landed here, I had just come to visit.
Okay.
But you visit, and when you take, if it is good, you stay. So my purpose was to stay after I got here, not to go back.
You tested it first.
I tested and I saw it's good.
This is where I belong.
This is where I belong. I possess the land, as the Bible says.
Now, because you were a teacher back home, you have come to America. How did you start life, or how did you navigate? Because now you have to abandon a career that you were used to. Where did you start?
Well, the person that helped me to come over here, they helped me to find my path, even though the path did not complete, because the same people that brought me here, and before I got into my right path, I actually was able to change my status from visitor to a student.
Okay.
And so I got into college, and I was doing some classes to major in nursing career as an RN. And I was doing so well. I was a teacher back at home. I was doing very well. I loved biology, and I knew I was going to make it. But it was interrupted because the person who brought me here, we had some family differences. And I left their house, and I went and I got my own apartment, and I was able to work hard and buy my own car, and I was still going to school. So I was looking forward to establish myself. I was able to buy my car. I remember that I got into school, and I was able to pay my little apartment somewhere. So I was doing all that, and also saving money to send home so that children can continue with their education. I was doing pretty good in that until after maybe almost after 1 year or two, around that time, I'm not very specific. I was the same person who came to look for reconciliation. And in the reconciliation, for him, it was a way of winning me back so that I could be taken back home in Kenya. And so
wait a minute. So it means it was not a genuine reconciliation. It was like kind of a trick to get you back and get an
that is my conclusion, because after when the deal is too good, think twice. Probably I did not think twice. Sometime when people call for reconciliation, I know people feel that way. It's good to reconcile even after you go at loggerhead with somebody, but think twice and also have boundaries. I think boundary is the word I should bring here. Even though you forgive each other and you talk and you resolve, also have that mind that anything can happen. For me, I was very naive. I think I was very naive. I was young and I did not have family members here. I was lonely. So I was longing to have my family back. But to them, I think it was intentional. I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to win you back. And the thing I'll bring to you is let's go back and get the children, bring them back here. And I followed that. And so we paid the flight ticket. Actually, I gave him money from my pocket for my two-way way to go to Kenya and to come back. And finally, we got home. I'm a writer of a book called I Slept I Slept on the Sacks. And probably I will not be able to narrate the whole story. If you are interested, you can call me or you can go to Amazon. The book is in Amazon now. And
you can buy Amazon now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, and read the whole story. But when we got back home, that is when the chaos started.
And before you go home, when you came over, you left your kid back home. Who was taking care of your kids?
My children, I left them under my sister, my elder sister.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, they were comfortable there. They were just going there during closing school because I was able to put them in boarding school, even though like my daughter was very little. I was able to find a boarding school for her and my son. So during when they closed school, vacation time, holiday time, that is when they went home.
How old were they when you left them?
My son was 7 and my daughter was almost like 4 years.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were still tiny.
Okay, now you come to America, you are living with your family member, and then the differences came up. Who wronged who?
I cannot go into details about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I will respect that. Okay, now here he comes, he talked to you in the name of reconciliation, and then you guys plan to go back to Kenya to see your kids and to try to bring them over. So what happened when you guys got home?
As I said, the plan was we come back with the children, and so when we got back there, and I'm just gonna say like I did in the other media, we got there and we agreed. I got to Narok. I was a teacher. I was able to buy myself a small plot by then, and we agreed. I go sell the plot, and then he went to Nairobi to look for someone to help us process the passport for the children. It's like I was not even thinking because, and actually I wasn't. I trusted. Trust. It was about trust. I trusted this person who brought me to America is everything to me. He knows everything.
And you trusted him with your kid because you thought like he did it for me, so he's gonna do it again for my.
He's a family member. He knows my struggles back at home. When I was growing, he knew my mom. He knew my mom, so I trusted him. I mean, people get into problems, families, and they come back to each other and they don't harm each other. So I thought this is the end of it. I mean, it's gone. He's gonna help me get my babies with me back to America. So that is what happened. And when I left him to go to Nairobi, hoping he's gone to talk to someone who was going to help us, and I sell the plot so that we get money. That is when I realized someone told me I met with so and so at the airport yesterday, going back to the US. Because this is someone that knew me and knew him. We all came from Joro, but the man had a business in Narok. And so that is how I knew, oh, wow, he left. I thought he's in Nairobi. And I came to Narok so that we meet again in Nakuru and start the process with the children. And here I had my son. He was a young boy by then. I traveled with him to Narok. And so I was I was really heartbroken, and I was able to go. He had that guy had a studio there, and we were able to sit down and explain to him what happened. I was really heartbroken, and
So
he was
he
able to
never
talk to
said
me.
anything about returning to America without you. You never saw any sign.
No,
Like,
no. The previous night we went straight away to my sister's house, and we all spent at my sister's house so that we could sit down with my sister and explain. Oh, we have come with one boy. We are here to bring the children. It was holiday time, so children were at home. So everybody knew, oh, they are here. They're gonna go back. Zippy is gonna take her children with her, and children were getting happy. Like, I still see my son getting so happy.
yeah, I
Uh,
can imagine you too as a mom, knowing right now I'm going back to the USA with my kids. Like, I can imagine how happy you are.
well, it's the fulfillment of what I saw. I came here and I found it is good, and now I'm gonna go back with my children. So I saw that fulfillment. Unfortunately, the 2 days did not go by before that vision and that happiness in me, or it was broken. It was finished.
Now, what happened after that? How did you take it, and how did your kids react to that disappointment?
Well, the children were young. They knew mom was in trouble. They knew. They knew that. They didn't talk much. I was able to sell my plot actually, and that money I got, I paid school fees for them. I put them back to school. I paid them back to school so that they could go back to boarding school. And I struggled with the little money that I was left with. So between Nairobi and here and there, and finding my ways out back here, it was a tough time.
So now I think
I'm able to tell this story. I never used to. I used to cry.
I know, and here because I have seen the story, I'm assuming everybody knows. Now that the family member has returned to America, you need to tell my audience why you could not return to America. What happened?
Tell them to read my book. That is why I wrote the book, so that they can read everything I wrote in couple years.
They will.
But anyway, I was able to return. You don't, when you're a fighter, you fight. You fight your battles good, and you have to know how you're fighting them.
Yeah,
But you
but
don't just fight.
there is this part you want to tell the audience why you could not return. You don't have to give us the whole detail, but because you have mentioned the person you went home with came back to America without you. And so obviously they're asking, why didn't she?
Well, that he returned with my documents. That's the only reason I could not come back. He took my documents with him, my I-20. As I said, I came here and I changed my status from a visitor to a student. So I had my I-20. My I-20 was to help me extend my visa together with my children. And just to realize, my I-20 was taken, my passport was gone, but God is good. I was able to get all those things after many struggles. So I think this is the interesting part I want to tell you people, because I cannot narrate the story here within less than 1 hour. On the process, I was fighting to come back, and I knew he's gone. I knew he came back here, and he gathered a meeting, and people from this place called Lancaster he called people to celebrate me. She's gone. She'll not come back here. The reason was given that I came here. I became a street woman. I came here. I drink. I came here. I do prostitution. Every word of all, every dirty thing was put on me, Zippy, and that doesn't worry me, because I'm not like that. I wasn't like that.
So did people believe what he was saying?
I didn't. I did not go asking people whether they believed it or not. There are times you don't have to discuss things you hear with people, because you focus at your purpose and the bigger goal that you have in life. All I know is back at home, that was the story that was given. And so that is why it was made even impossible for me to, and not only that, that's why I'm saying I cannot sit here and narrate the whole story. It's in the book, because even when I tried to come back, a letter was already written to American Embassy in Kenya that I should not come back here because of those reasons I have given you. And so that they found it's worthy for me to be home than here, because also my children were reported to be on the street in Kenya. So I was a mother drinking, and the children were suffering in Kenya in the street. I thank God today I have a doctor in my house, Dr. Ericana.
Wow.
He wasn't on the street. He has never been on the street. They are good kids.
I will have to ask you this question, and please answer me. How did your document got into his hands? I believe you trusted this person. Did you give him the document before leaving here, or when you got home in the name of?
No. The travel document, he carried them all the way from here. He carried the document. He had the document with him. Tukifika pahali anapeana, inasainiwa, tunaendelea. I was trusting him. I was okay with that. He's my family member. We have reconciled. We are going to get my children. I'm a woman. He is my he's a female. He is protecting me. He's taking care of me. I'm trusting him. So that is how he got my documents with him.
Wow. Now he's here busy tarnishing your name to your family members. How did they treat you? Like
who?
The people who was tarnishing your name to, the people who was just giving this information, you are a drunkard, you are a prostitute, you are homeless, whatever. Was it your family member, or they were friends?
It is from the story that was told from here to back there. And I did not bother much. As I said again, my goal was not even to find what are they saying, what did they hear, who am I gonna ask? If I had it from one person, and I know, because not only that, some letters were written and they were sent there, I still have them. I have some videos that were taped. I still have them today. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. If I want to, I have the proof with me. I have the letters. I have the videos. I had no videos by cassettes, recorded cassettes. I still have them.
So someone who had decided to tarnish and complete you, like, to finish you completely.
I'm here to make awareness to people that there are people like that. Be careful when you are dealing with some people. This is a true story. This is what do you call them in English?
Never overtrust anyone, because I think you overtrusted this person. And I'm not blaming you. We have all had our own lessons. We have also done some things without thinking, the consequences, or without thinking about the outcome. We have all, in one way or the other, find ourselves doing that naive thing. So I think it's a lesson for everyone to trust, whether it is your family member or not. You should never overtrust. And keep your document with you. I think I will say that. I have said that here more than enough. Because I've had people who are coming here, and then when you get to your host, you give them your document. My friend, you should never give anyone your document, your passport, your green card, your social security. Never give it to your host when you come to this country.
I think what you say is very important, my sister. When not only here, when it comes to trust is like giving somebody your heart. And it is not everybody you can just get your heart out and give it to them. Because some people will misuse that heart.
Definitely.
Some people will even kill it. Some people will just put it in the trash because they are there to completely tarnish you and to finish you. So the issue of trust is good. I have learned that the person you can trust more is just God. You can trust God in everything else. But to trust everybody is
human being.
Human being. For me, as a pastor, I also feel like sometimes I have that problem. May God help me. I'm growing. He's working on me every day. But coming to a point of trusting people so much is very, very hard for me. I don't think there is an action that will ever happen in my life like that one. whereby I was dropped, and someone goes and lives with your document where you have trusted them and hoping things could get better, and you get along again as a family. And once that one is broken, it is so hard to build it again. It doesn't matter whether you forgive people or not. Forgiving is okay, I forgive them, but it is not easy again to come back. This is where you put a big boundary. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I trusted you, you broke the trust, I
Absolutely.
forgave you, but still we can have our boundaries. Stay apart with each other. I love you as a person of God, but I have my boundaries, and that is where I am.
Okay, now because we know how difficult it is to come back to America after what happened to you, we would like to know, like, how did you get back in Zippy? Because hey, we want to know this God you serve, because it's never easy. I've never seen it happen, and someone getting deported or something happened, like what happened to you, and especially that even the embassy have a letter about you. How are you able to come back to America?
Well, I tried to come back to America without a visa. Yes. Yes, that's what I did. I went to them, they denied me a visa. They denied me, and I said, I am going back. I went and I had $600 in my pocket, and I went and paid the flight ticket. And I paid the flight ticket through Israel Airline, Ariel Airline. And I had some photocopy for my I-20, though the original was gone. So that photocopy and the old passport, I was able to convince them. I don't know how, because you're going to ask me this question. I don't know how, but I was able to convince them I'm coming back to school in America. And they let me in their flight. This is a testimony to tell people there is God in heaven.
Without a visa. Without a visa?
Without a visa.
Flight without a visa?
Without a visa. With my old passport.
And that is a passport copy, because I think the original one you said it came over with your family.
Well, he came back with the original I-20.
Okay.
The passport was already expired. I had gone to renew, which wasn't a problem because I had the I-20. That time things were not complicated. I would have just gone there with my I-20 that was already very new, and then get another passport to come back.
So wait a minute. Now you have gone to the embassy. They have denied you a visa. Simply because there is a letter about you in the embassy, right? Is that when you came?
That time the letter wasn't there.
Oh yeah?
That time the letter wasn't there. It is after he left. That is when I was trying to come back, because I wasn't just going to sit down there and cry and mourn. I was fighting my way too. So I went I went to American Embassy, and they denied me a visa. And that is why when I said nitaenda America hata kama sina visa, and I convinced them. I don't know how. I tell people I can show you people the old passport, those big passport with their stamp. And I got into the flight and I sat it down and I got into Israel. And then when I got to Israel, nikashikwa. They got me there. Yeah, they got me there.
By the immigration.
Yeah, through immigration. So immigration kept me for the whole night, interrogated me, and I was talking to them, convincing them. I don't know how. Don't ask me how I talked to them. I don't remember. But they gave me, the following day, they gave me a passport to go to their country so that I could go to American Embassy and see if they would give me a visa to proceed. So I was given a ride by one of the workers there. You know, God will always send you good Samaritans, even in the foreign land where you know nobody.
Even in the wilderness.
Yeah. And so they got me, this person gave me a ride and took me to American Embassy in Tel Aviv. And I go there and they denied me the visa. They said, you're not from here. You need to go back to your former country, your home country, to get the visa there. And I came out of the their office, and I thought, I said, I am in a foreign land. I don't know anybody here. I am lost. I don't have money. For sure, I had no money. I think I had $10 in my pocket. That's all I had. Because I knew when I land, if I would come and land to New York, I had some little money in the account. And that time we did not have ATMs that I would get my money anywhere. So I got there. So after they denied me, then I asked them to give me the number for Kenyan embassy in Tel Aviv. And they gave it to me. And I got outside there and I got someone to help me and to pay those phones, old-fashioned ones. And he paid and he called for me. And I said, I talked to the secretary of their bus and I said, I'm a Kenyan citizen and I'm stranded here. I'm looking for help. And they're good. They did not even ask me many questions. They just asked me, where are you? I said, I'm outside American embassy. And they said, can you just wait there for 10 minutes? And within 10 minutes, I saw the flag. I saw the car, the ambassador's car and the flag and the driver. And they came to pick me up. I think that is the most interesting part of my story also. You know, you are taken by the ambassador. You are like in a foreign land. You are like, and I sat behind there, like I was just a small girl by then. And I'm like, God, you're so good. How did you give me this mind to think calling my people? And my people has come for me. When I saw that flag, ooh, I have the Kenyan flag even in America. It's right there. And I respect that flag a lot. It tells me who I am. I am a Kenyan by birth, and I love it.
They're picking you up so they can deport you, like.
No, they gave me a place to stay. I was stayed there for a couple of days with them. Actually, they rented a hotel for me. Nikakaa na wao for a while.
And then
finally I decided to go back home.
This is juicy. Tell us more. Tell us more about it. Then what happened?
Read my book, you get more.
Wow.
Yeah. So finally I went back home. So when I went back home, that is when I found the letters. Because nikiwa Israel, I was able to call up.
Please, Zippy, unatupeleka mbio sana. We understand. We have
we are learning with the time. I have to be out in the next 4 minutes.
Now, okay, they took you. They have kept them. I mean, they kept you for a couple of days. So they had to send you back home.
No. They did not send me back home. In fact, they were willing to get me a job over there and stay there. But I wasn't willing. That was not my vision.
So we are lost. So is this the second time you're trying to come to America after your document came with your family member, or this
that was the first time I tried to come back?
You're trying to come.
That is after I was left. That is the first time I tried to come back.
Okay, all right.
The other part, which maybe we can talk next time, that one I went to the embassy again and they gave me the visa to come over.
Okay.
But this one, I attempted to come. I did not have it. And I don't know what I was doing. Nobody can ask me. I tell them I was doing this because it is just something that came to my mind, like, nitajificha na nitarudi.
Yeah, because I'm also not understanding what you are trying to do, honestly.
You cannot understand this. It is God's designing things to show his greatness in somebody's life. That is why we cannot even understand it. And you know, the word of God says a man cannot understand the deep things of God. We cannot. Even me, I don't. How did I get into the plane without a visa? How?
Visa. Yeah,
how? Like, and I tell people, if you want to see, I'll give you the old passport with a stamp in it.
Yeah, we don't have to prove anything. We believe you. So now they kept you. What next after they kept you?
I just decided to come back. I told them I didn't want to stay there and I didn't want to go anywhere else. I wanted to go back to Kenya. From Kenya, I'm going to go to London or I'm going to go back to USA. And that is exactly what happened. And probably the other portion we can talk another time, because I went back home. I was able to get a cousin of mine I love. He paid the flight. I called him and he paid the flight ticket for me to go back home. So I went back home and I started my struggles again, how to come back here.
by these things you were trying to do you think you had depression or you were depressed? Because whatever you were trying to do, I'm not understanding how and why you did.
I went through a point of depression, but I did not allow it to overtake me. One thing I knew, if I stayed manyumbani where my children were, I was going to get really depressed with my sister and her children and
now with
everybody
no
else.
job, no income,
No income, no job, no place to stay. Yeah, so I purposed I'll be traveling to friends. So I would go, mostly I would go to Nairobi to my friends, and finally I got a friend of mine who used to work at Kenyatta University as a librarian there. We came from the same village, and we met. I called her. We met in town, and then she took me to her house, and that is where my journey coming back to America started, because a cousin to her husband called there while we were still talking. And they called around maybe 1 a.m. And mzee wake akamwambia, there is a lady here that is so stranded. Can you talk to her and help her? And I talked to Baba Kiai, and he said, I will send you the documents so that you can fill application for another school. And that is how I came back. I was able to fill that application. And within few weeks nikatumiwa I-20 ingine, and that I-20 allowed me to come to America for the second time.
So this is the second time when you went to the embassy for the interview. This is when you find out, or this is where you found out that there was a letter written to the embassy about
that you? Is when I found there was a letter.
What did they say about it? Like, they didn't deny you a visa after all this, like the letter is, we have the letter, or?
Well, there are a lot of things that are in the book people can read that I explained to the embassy for them to allow me to have one-on-one and talk to them. To a point they said, whenever you get the visa, come and we're gonna wait. Well, you know, this is a country of justice, so they are not just told things and they take them literally. They have to investigate and find out what is going on, and that is what they did. And then they said, whenever you get the passport or the I-20, you can come. We help you, and I did, and God opened the way for me to come back.
Thanks God. Thank God. Now you came back, you had like to restart life again. I know we are running ahead of time. I want to request you, like, would you please give me another date so we can have part 2? Now tell us how you came, because I know even if you tell us how many times, we will still buy your book, because you're not giving us each and every detail.
No, I'm here to empower people. I'm here to encourage people. And you know what? Even buying a book is it's not that much. If you're in Kenya and you buy this book for 700 shillings, that's $7 for me. $7 is so little money for me. So it's not about money. It's about the wealth in the book. The word that you read from that book, the empowerment, the encouragement, the inspiration, the word to understand that the last minute God comes. That is why I wrote that book. So not just about money. We can talk about this so that we can encourage other people. We can bring awareness to people that there's still bad people out there. There are people who really don't care about your life. And those who don't care about your life, they will damage you completely. And we have to hold strong and take the word of God upon our life to encourage us. And because He has so many promises for us, and He shall fulfill them. And the Bible says, who said there will be no troubles in this world? Troubles will be there. We are living in a world of troubles, but we have to learn how to overcome, not by ourselves, but by the strength of God.
And now after you came back, because clearly for me, I have seen someone who tried like to stop your stars from signing, to kill your dream. Now, have you been able to be where you wanted to be? Have you achieved your goals? Are you happy?
I think that affected me a lot. You know, I was in school. I came. My schooling was distorted because now I was in a school. I was taking classes to one's program of nursing, RN, or even psychology. What was so interesting to me, And then I have diverted to the I-20 that came. I went to a Bible school, and I think that is where God wanted me to be. So I moved from one school to another one location to another one. I'm taking care of my children back at home. I am fighting these words because when I came back here, there were a lot of things going on. Letters were flying from every corner. And those are the things I'm saying. You can read them. Letters were being sent to different Kenyans, and they were told horrible things about me. I was abused emotionally so much. And I thank God that I didn't go crazy. I did not go cuckoo. I would always find that strength in the Lord. And so I can say my education was disrupted a lot, distorted a lot. And from there, I started focusing on how I'll get my children over here before it is too late. And finally, I had even to quit school and start working on how I'll get my children to come over. I gave it up for my children, but eventually I did go to school and graduate, even though I did not.
Your kids are here now with you. I understand you have a daughter.
They're independent people. They're not even with me. They're grown.
Wow. I wonder how this enemy of yours feel about all, because you were able to bring your kids. One of you, is it your son who is a doctor already in America, right?
He's anesthesia.
Oh, wow. Like, oh, your story is amazing. I love it. I think I can listen or I can talk to you over and over. But because of time, we will end there. But Zippy, please promise me you will come back, because I see you are an advocate for abuse in marriage or sexual abuse and those kind of things.
I did work for a while as an advocate for domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. I say I'm very aggressive on that. I will not stand anyone that abuses a woman, a child, or even a man, because I know abuse is of different kind: physical, emotional, psychological, and that is what I went through. So I will advocate for them, and I will stand and pray for them, and even do the right thing as concerns to this country we came into.
So please give me another date. Please give me a date.
Sure, we will not give it here, but we will talk. we can continue, Tabby.
All right. Okay, Sawa. Thank you, Sana.
And before we finish, for your audience, please direct them to my YouTube. I am a singer. I'm a gospel artist.
Tell them what's your YouTube name is.
Just look for Zipporah Elkanah, Leverage Zipporah Elkanah, and just subscribe for me. It's a gift I came to realize just a year ago I have, and songs just start flowing in me. So I have a number of songs there and more coming up. So just subscribe for me. God is good and faithful, Tabitha. So I also would like to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. It's a good job. Bring people, let them tell of their stories. And God will always be with you and empower you too.
Thank you. Thank you. And so far, I would like to say thank you again for honoring my invite. It is really an honor to have you. Thank you for your time. Thank you also for sharing your story with us. Even if your story is an open book, I can say, because it is out there, people should buy your book. By the way, people, get, my friends, buy Zippy Elkanah book. You can get it from Amazon. You say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get Zippy Elkanah book from Amazon. Also subscribe to her channel. I will share her link too on the comment section. And I really appreciate, and we're gonna have you again. It was an honor to have you. And before we leave, let me talk to you and other people. I have learned two things from your story. Number one, never overtrust anyone. Be it your family member, whoever, never overtrust anyone. Number two, according to Zippy Elkanah's story, trust on God alone. Because despite all that she went through, it is only God that came through for her. So please do not overtrust on any human being, but trust only on our God. Keep your hopes up, guys. Do not lose hope. In case you want to talk to anyone, you can talk to me. You can talk to ZP Ericana. Since he has a lot of resources that she can share or help you go through. So usikufa peke yako. Don't die. Don't kill yourself. Don't feel like you are alone. We are here. Some of us, we started this YouTube channel because of you guys. We want to talk to you. We know there are several people who are working out there. They have depression and they do not have anyone to talk to. I have personally talked to so many strangers through Facebook. But again, I am so happy to see that just a word changed their life. You never know. Don't see someone posting something disturbing on Facebook and assume, it is a stranger. No, get to know them. Sometimes they are like scammers, but sometimes you will save someone's life. Even to just a word. So before we close, I would like to tell you guys, we have this friend of mine who sell pure Pishori. In case you are in diaspora and you want to buy Pishori for your mom, your relative, you can go on Facebook and search for Ken Wamoredi. He supplies pure Pishori. I have done it. I bought it for my mom. He is in Nairobi, but he sent that Pishori all the way to Nakuru. So he is a very, very convenient. If you want to buy Pishori for children's home, I have done it, and I have had him deliver it, and he does it in good time. So please get in touch to him. Surprise your family, surprise your mom, surprise these children's homes. They need us. So in case you want to buy a sack kilo fulani za mchele, please tafuta Ken Wamoredi on Facebook na umwambie nimekutuma. Atakuorganizia. His phone number is 0727 256791. 0727 256791. God bless you all. For those who have been supporting me, continue subscribing. And remember, after you subscribe to my channel, go and search for ZP Ericana and subscribe on her YouTube channel and support her. Goodbye. See you again. I will bring our guest again, so please stay tuned.
Good night.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.